So one thing I struggle on this game is body positioning, and that's what it goes for most shooter games. And it's not that I struggle all the time, but what happens is that I'll get so excited while I'm playing that I kind of forget that, hey, I need to be behind cover. For the most part, I feel like I do a pretty good job, but there are instances where I'll watch some footage and I'm like, well, if I would have just positioned myself just a little bit better, I probably actually could have either got the kill or not had a wipe. You know, because sometimes you can get engagements and it is okay to retreat. I mean, there are instances. I'm going to go over that on probably another video on when you should retreat. But going back to this, so body positioning is pretty important. So I'm going to go through on this private match, and then I'm going to show some actual footage of you know, good examples and bad examples of body positioning. Okay, so we're about to see the kill cam, and we're going to see how much I was actually out in the open. As you see here, all the way, you can see my whole body. You can shoot every limb, you can shoot my fingers, you can shoot it all. That's something you don't want to happen when you actually play Warzone. If you're really trying to stay alive, you know, not everybody's a pro shooter. You see some of these guys are getting like 50 kills a game. Well, that's not me, and I know that's not a majority of the people that play this game. So here is me mounted on a car, and I just want to I'm gonna let him kill me, and then we're gonna look at the kill cam to see how much of he sees when I'm actually mounted to a vehicle. As you see here, you see he sees probably, I would say, about maybe 60% of my body or so. And the only reason why is because when I was mounted on that car, at one point I probably should have dismounted, because if the guy keeps coming from one side of that angle, that your mount position is no longer as effective. I thought this one was a pretty good mount for standing. I think it showed about maybe 50% of my body. As you see here, it looks pretty good in my opinion. So right here, we're looking at the prone position. We're in the corner. We're going to see what he sees after he kills me. And what you'll notice, he sees about maybe 25% of my body. Mostly it's head. So the negatives to that is all his shots are going to most likely be headshots. The pros, though, is you can conceal pretty well behind there. You're pretty hidden. Okay, now that that crap's over with, let's show some actual real footage. Let's look at the real deal, and we'll go over it.
Drop right next to you. I couldn't tag him. He ended up with the ammunition.
Oh, that's on.
Hey, I'm down.
On
He's
Matt.
at the stairs, at my stairs.
Gas is moving.
Hey, we gotta. So there's two things that got me in this. One, the easiest one would be my aim. I did not land the headshots like I should have landed. I think I landed mostly body shots. Two is I did not use the cover like I should have. So I should have stopped right here where I paused it. And as you see, I see, you know, a good 50% of his body. That's plenty for me. I should have used that cover, and if I should have just engaged right there. That should have been my engagement point, but I did not. I ended up moving a couple feet, you know, more to the right, where I'm out in the open, I'm exposed, and so by the time I retreated, it was too late for me. I didn't have enough time to get back to cover because I decided to take that few steps more to the right. That means that's all those steps I did to the right, I now have to do to the left to retreat, and they were able to get the final shots on me. Alright, so we're down to the wire. It's Mbrad and one opponent, and what you see is that he gets engaged and he stays behind cover. So I mean, that's great. This guy over here, he's a clown. He's out in the open. He's not using the cover like he should. He's, I guess, just relying heavily on his aim. Mbrad plates up behind cover, very smart. And what you'll see here is that this guy chooses not to use cover at all. Even though that truck's in the gas, he still had the choice to actually use that truck and stay in the gas just for a little bit. Because you can stay in the gas. I mean, I don't know if he has a gas mask. He might have a gas mask. So if he has a gas mask, he can definitely stay in the gas over there and stand behind that truck. Now, if he doesn't have a gas, that's still okay. I've had a decent amount of battles in the gas without a gas mask. You do lose some health, but if it's like this, like right here, I'm not a fan of this. I feel like this looks like total crap. Like, to stand out here right out in the open and just get shot up like that. Like, to me, I would take chances with the gas and then maybe moving towards that car right there. You know, he could have crouched or did a little slide to get up and make this battle, you know, close quarters, as opposed to, I mean, that's still kind of close quarters, but it would have made it definitely a lot more closer if he would have got to that car. It would have been a pretty good battle. But instead, that enemy chose to stay out there and just eat all the bullets that Imbrad shot at him. The unfortunate event, though, is Imbrad decided to leave his cover as well. And so it was kind of like the Old West showdown over there. We were, both bodies are out in the open, and it came down who was the better shooter on that. I think if Imbrad would have stayed at his cover, he had two options at his cover. He could have mounted, which makes your accuracy even better, and there's less flinch when you're getting shot. Mounting is pretty awesome, and from that position, he definitely could have mounted and just lasered that guy. He also had the option of just not mounting and just standing behind the truck, and he could have backed off to what I would call a reset, because sometimes when you shoot and your recoil and all that gets kind of out of control, and your shooting is not nearly as effective. And so what I like to do is just reset. So I'll just get behind cover, and I'm like, okay, let's just redo this. And so then you go back out there, you re-aim, and you finish the engagement. He could have had that option, but he did not. So again, that's just something to think about. Is cover is a big freaking deal. And things to also think about is whenever you're, because just say you're going to a house, the house is just say 100 meters out. Well, house is your end game. What are you going to do between that? Like, where's your other cover? Like, do you have some trees to go that you can hide behind? Because what you should always think about is Warzone. You have 150 people playing with you. And so at any moment, you could get shot. And it could be from places that you least expect. Like, hey, man, there's no way I'm going to get shot over here. Well, there might be a clown out there just hiding in a damn bush waiting for you. And so you got to think about, if he engages you, can you hide behind a tree? Can you hide behind a rock? Is there any other houses I can go to before I hit that house? And so cover should always be on your mind. You should always think about, whenever you move, where you're going to go if you do get engaged. It sounds kind of stupid, and you're like, there's no way you could think like that. But a lot of times that when I move, I'm not going to say it's every time, but I think about cover quite a bit. It's just, what happens though is there are split seconds where you kind of just forget about it, and that's what really gets you killed. And that's why I showed like that previous video of me where I should have used the cover right there. I should have just stopped and used that, but instead I decided to just, I guess I was feeling extra cocky. I decided to just go all out on him, and I ended up getting killed by his teammate. See, that was something I didn't consider. So when I saw the guy, I saw the one guy, and then the second guy climbed up the ladder. That was something I didn't consider. So you should always think about cover. Cover should always be on your mind, because you never know what's going to happen. So that's about all I have for cover right now. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe, maybe like, give me some comments, some suggestions. I always like all that. Thank you for watching.